Well, that was a rough couple of videos. I'm glad to be on the other side of all that. Yeah, that was the worst. That was the worst homesteading event we've had happen in our last decade of growing as homesteaders. I wanted to thank everybody. We had so many just like well wishes, kind words, people sharing stories about things they'd gone through that had been similar to our situation with having to put Ladybug down because of this disease that we found out she had. The support has been amazing, and it kind of reminded me why we do this, why we make videos and podcasts and have a website all about homesteading, and even a little bit about why we homestead, because times like this make you question that, like, why am I doing this? Why am I working so hard, so much at something that has such a high rate of failure, where so many things can go wrong? Why am I doing this? This last couple weeks have been I've kind of found some big answers to that question. Again. I am a smart guy. I'm very confident. But yeah, I'm a smart guy. I'm not afraid of working hard, putting my mind to something and making it happen. I've done that a lot in my life. And I could have become like a stockbroker, right? Like, they make a lot of money. Maybe gone into banking. I mean, those sound awful. But my point is, like, there's a lot of other ways that I could have spent my energy and time at something that probably has a higher success rate than raising livestock, farming, gardening, homesteading in general. One of the sayings we've heard so much, like, echo chambered lately, is just, where there's livestock, there's dead stock. And yeah, there's not a lot of other like paths in life where that's a saying. Like, you know, when you become a doctor, they don't say, where there's doctors, there's dead people. There are. Nothing to laugh about. But it's just, or like, let's go back to the stockbroker or banker. That's less grim. Where there's a stockbroker, there's some poor dude. There are guys who like get into stocks and stuff and then get poor. Anyway, the point is, like, homesteading, you're working with a bunch of animals that are trying to figure out how to kill themselves. And you're working in a very unnatural setting. We talk about this a lot. Animals as a whole just thrive better with more land and more access to more places and bigger spaces. The more they can move, the less confined they are, the less they're in their own, you know, diseased area and their worms and all that stuff. And farming, you're confining them. You're saying, no, you're going to be right here forever, and a lot of you are going to be right here. The kind of stocking densities we have on a farm is nothing like you see in nature. And it's kind of an uphill battle from day one. Like, this is not going to work on all levels. And so it's easy in August when you've worked hard, so hard. I mean, you guys saw the camel train. We were working really hard this year. We did a ton. And this is the time of year where the failures start to add up. And I'm making this video because I know there are other people out there right now who worked really hard through the spring, really hard through the pandemic. Like, we're doing it, we're growing our own food, and now it's supposed to be harvest time where you're like, yay, let's reap the rewards. And this is that time period where, like, things start slipping away through the cracks. Last year we lost our dairy goats, and that was such a, like, just punch to the gut. This year it was Ladybug, and that's been such a punch to the gut. And just like, this is that time period where you get to be like, why am I even doing this? what's the point? I'm working so hard. I'm a smart person, I'm talented. I could work really hard at something else and make more money and be more successful and have things actually just work and not fail every year. And it's easy. I know personally it's easy to go into that down spiral because I'm an idealist. I think everything's gonna be amazing and wonderful and awesome, and then when it isn't, I can get sent into a downward spiral of like, no, why? And just like wash myself right into the quitters pile of like, forget it, never mind, not doing this anymore. I'm not gonna play with you anymore. That's what my kids used to say. My kids used to say when they were little and they'd be fighting, I'll never play with you ever again. That was their, I'll never play with you. And sometimes that's how I feel about homesteading. Like times like this, like, that's it, I'll never play with you ever again. I was reminded by Kay, we were having a discussion about all the stuff that's been going on and all the disappointments 220 has brought our homestead and our farm. And she reminded me, like, 220's brought a lot of disappointment to a lot of people. Much bigger. So like, you can't escape that in life. There's always going to be disappointments. Things are always going to go wrong no matter what you're doing. If you are a doctor, if you are a homesteader, if you are a stockbroker, a banker, whatever you're doing, there's going to be things that go wrong, and there's no escaping that, right? When you try, when you stick your neck out, there are times where that's gonna come back and bite you. And so I'd rather spend my time doing the things I actually enjoy and love, and for us, living off the land, growing our own food, spending time outside like this. This is stuff that I love doing. And the other big thing that just became clear from this, the side of, you know, why we do this, why we have a YouTube channel, why we make videos. Ladybug's death was a huge disappointment, and for us, we learned a lot, but it was still like just a devastating blow. But seeing what happened afterward in the comments, seeing how many people said like, oh, I never knew about this, thank you, I'm gonna check for this when I go buy my family cow. Or people saying, hey, watching your videos made me check my herd and I found a problem which I now have to take care of. That's really sad, and I'm sorry for those of you who that happened to. But it's at least good that you were educated about it, and now you are in control of something that could get worse if you didn't know about it. Sharing our story and sharing what we do here on YouTube, it's hard sometimes. It's really hard to show the world like, hey, guess what? We had to put our cow down because she had a disease that's super contagious, and by the way, you probably don't want to buy any of our calves because they probably have this disease. It is not easy to do that. It's not easy to broadcast that to the world. But when you do, you help so many people. Ow! Watch what you're doing there, pup. My dog just like broke my ankle, rolling around on the ground. I'm dramatic, he didn't break my ankle. You know I'm dramatic though. It helps so many people. Like, so many people have learned about this disease, and now we're gonna be able to mitigate it, contain it, avoid it, because we shared this. And it makes Ladybug's death, which if it had happened to us without sharing this on YouTube and podcasts and everything, it would have had very little value of, well, me and Kay would have learned from it, and it would have ended there. 2 homesteaders out in Pennsylvania would have learned their lesson, and that's a bummer. And maybe we would have shared it on a forum somewhere, and maybe 3 other people would have learned about it. The amount of help sharing your failures, sharing your story on YouTube through a podcast to an audience like we are blessed to have here at Homesteady, you can help so many people by your mistakes. I think I am more helpful when I share a mistake on this channel than when I share a tip. because I share a tip or a trick or whatever, and like a lot of you already knew it, and those of you who didn't, maybe it only applies to like a little small percentage of you, and even less people are actually going to do it. And even then, it's like one little tip or trick, like, hey, don't do this when you're electric fencing, or here's a great way to train your pigs to electric fencing. Like, it can help people, but man, when you share something like this that's gonna kill your whole herd of cows, like that is priceless, and it sticks with people. So even if they don't have cows, if their friends get cows, they're like, hey, by the way, did you check for Yonis? It's this weird disease I just heard about from Homesteady channel. You might wanna check that out. So it has like so much more power to help people when we share our failures. And just sharing our story, it makes it like, we show you guys what happens. We show you the reality of homesteading, and sometimes it is so good, and sometimes it is so bad. But it made me realize, like, this is why we do this. This is why we homestead. This is why we share it. It's because it can help so many more people. And speaking of help, I have to go help my animals fill their bellies. They're all yelling at me. The sheep are yelling at me. Can you hear the pigs? They're like really mad at me right now. They're all lined up at the fence line like, come on, man, we're real hungry. They're mad. Oh, I got a chicken out too. All right, let me go feed some animals here. I had kind of a fire lit in me this week that just is growing. Coming through this experience, seeing how much good it did for everybody, and even myself, and making me see how resilient we've built our life, where we could have this huge loss on the homestead and it hurt our hearts so bad, but not really hurt anything else. Like, we still have food, we still have milk, we still have meat, we still have, even Ladybug's loss still yielded us lots of meat. So while it is hard when the stockbroker loses all his stock, it's gone. When you lose livestock in the way that we lost Ladybug, we still got something back from it. Homesteading is a very resilient life. It makes you more resilient through the ups and downs, but as you continue to grow and build, you get more secure. You can take these punches and these hits. If this had happened to us 3 years ago, we probably would have quit. We probably would have thrown our hands up and said, that's it, we can't do this anymore. But it happened now, and I just got this like, man, we made it through it, we're okay. And look how many people were helped. I need to do more. And so I want to tell you about 2 things I'm going to do right now that are going to help a lot more, hopefully help a lot more of you. The first one is for everybody. What you have to do right now is click right there. That's going to take you to sign up to our email list. Let me tell you something real quick. I don't sell your emails. You join my email list, you don't tomorrow get another email from Geico and another email from some spammy thing trying to sell you some crap. You just get emails that I write myself, telling you, hey, here's our latest videos, here's our latest podcasts, but there's something special coming that only people on the email list are gonna get. So please, click there, join our email list. There are almost 7,000 people on that email list. 7,000 people have trusted me with their email, not to spam them, not to, clog up their inbox. Just join the list. Here's why. I'm starting a new podcast, but I'm not going about it the way I started Homesteady. I'm not going about it the way I do it here on the YouTube channel. This is completely new, and there's a very specific reason for this. I'm tired of these platforms deplatforming people, silencing people, pulling videos, limiting who sees what. I'm getting so angered by this because we're trying to make helpful content, we're trying to make good stuff, and if I title it the wrong thing or put the wrong word in the description, it gets limited. You don't get to see it, maybe none of you get to see it, maybe it gets pulled. I'm just tired of that. I'm sick of that. I'm trying to help people here. I'm making good content. There's so much garbage on YouTube, but they're limiting stuff from this world. And I'm not gonna support that anymore. I'm not stopping YouTube videos, by the way. Don't misunderstand me here. We're still gonna make YouTube videos and we're still gonna have our regular podcast. But I'm making a new podcast and it's going to only be available, that's Bones is whacking the camera here. It is only right now you're only gonna be able to get it if you're on my email list. What is this new podcast? This new podcast is going to help you make changes in your life so you can have the life you want. If it's homesteading, if it's farming, if it's living off the land, if it's starting your own business, that's why I'm making it. There's going to be a lot of episodes. I'm really excited about this. This is going to be big. And you can only right now, you can only get it if you're on my email list. Here's how this is gonna work. You're gonna join my email list. I'm gonna send you the episodes in your inbox. Episode 1, episode 2. You can click play and listen to them and enjoy it. You can download it and listen to it later. You will not find this right now on iTunes. You will not find this right now on YouTube. I'm not putting it there. I just want it to be on my email list. I own my email list. It doesn't get throttled. It doesn't get limited. Nobody goes, I don't like the title of that. We're not gonna let people see that or hear that. If you wanna hear everything Homesteady makes, if you want to hear this brand new show, get on my email list. It's right there. That's all I'm gonna say about it for now. It's not started yet. Just get on the email list because you're not gonna wanna miss the first episode. I recorded it and I'm really excited about it. I actually recorded the first 2 episodes. They're not going live yet. I'll tell you when they go live, but just get on that email list. Second thing I'm doing that's gonna help a lot of people. Huge sale, Homesteady Pioneer membership. This is a huge sale. Normally Pioneer membership is $5 a month. For the entire year, that would be $60. You can get a year membership right now for $39. That's 4 months for free. I'm doing that. Every summer we do a Pioneer sale, and I just like to, if people are on the fence about becoming a pioneer, every week we interview somebody, in-depth homesteading interview, expert in their field. They answer our questions. You can join me live, or you can email me questions if you can't join us live. And if you missed the live show, you can watch the full uncut replay. We have a library, 20 different pages on the Pioneer library almost at this point, with like 5 or 6 episodes on each page of bonus podcasts, bonus videos, in-depth interviews, unedited, commercial-free, no garbage, just all awesome information. And that's gonna help so many of you grow your homesteads. So if you have been thinking about becoming a pioneer, click right there to become a pioneer, and I hope that helps some of you who have been on the fence to be able to do it, because I know being a pioneer is, I get to hear these interviews. They help me a ton. I know they're gonna be able to help all of you. We make this channel, we share the sads, the lows, the highs. We do all this because it helps us having this community, this support when things go bad. I saw that big time with the loss of the Ladybug. And because it's so wonderful to be able to help literally thousands of other human beings in their homesteading journey. That's why I'm making this new podcast, which everybody can get. Just get on my email list. That's why I do the Pioneer program. That's why we make this channel. That's why we make this podcast. That's why we homestead. That's why we do everything. To make our life more resilient and to make your life more resilient. Homesteady from day one, if you listen to the intro to the podcast, the world is crazy, right? The first thing I said in the intro to the podcast, the world that we live in is a crazy place. No more true than in 2020. But you and I, we can make it a little better. We can lead a more sustainable life, and we can do it together. That was the intro to Homesteady, and it hasn't changed. My mission for producing this show, everything we do, is that exact mission. The world's crazy. You and me can make it a little better. We can do it together. Join my email list, become a pioneer. There's some really good stuff coming. I can't wait. can't wait to show you.